Okay, so we will be learning what is statements and what is syntax. Statement is a list of instructions to be executed by a computer. So basically, statement is like you have created your document or get element by ID. You have given the ID in here and you want to change whatever the element ID you have given, you want to change its content, right? So you use inner HTML and then you change the content, right? So this is the instruction that you're giving to the computer so that you can get your desired output, right? Now, what is syntax? Syntax is basically just the rules to write the JavaScript code, right? So for example, if I don't follow the rule, right? Let's say one of the rule is case sensitive, right? JavaScript is case sensitive. So let me have created a paragraph element and I'm going to give it an ID as para and copy this para here and paste it here. Now, instead of this, let's put some text. So hello, okay. Now, if you save it and run it, now you can see that it says hello, right? But if I don't follow the case sensitive rule, right? If I just make it capital D, right? Now let's see what happens. I'm not following the rules, so the instructions will not be run by the JavaScript, right? And it will give me an error. So to check the error, go right click the web page, go inspect, and go to console, right? As you can see, there's an error here, right? So you need to be careful while writing your code, right? Okay. Now, the other thing I want to teach you is basically the semicolon rule, right? I have told you before as well that it's a best practice to add semicolon. It is basically the end of statement, right? So it is the end of instruction, right? I don't want to give after that this instruction, right? I want to give a new instruction. For example, after semicolon, I want to give him that for the same thing, right? For this same para, and I want to change its style, right? Let's say font size, okay? Now if I make it equal to 25px, right? And again add semicolon to end the statement, right? Save it, and as you can see, it performs the instructions that I have given it to it, okay? So this is what semicolon is. Semicolon is automatically added by JavaScript. It's like you don't have to add it, but it's best practice to add it because sometimes semicolons do help avoid errors, okay? So now the next thing is white spaces, right? As you can see, I have created this spaces right here, right? So these white spaces are actually ignored by JavaScript, right? So if I add multiple spaces, right, let's say this much of space, right, and save it and see it again, you can see that there is no difference at all, right? The JavaScript code will still run, right? So these white spaces actually help you understand the code much more better. Even you can actually just, let's, for example, let me remove the white spaces now. And if I just press enter, okay, and I just make it go to the next line, right? Now, as you can see that you will see that it will still run the code, right? So this is our line breaks. Line breaks is also used for to understand the code much more better if you have a very long code, right? If you have a very long statement, then you can just press enter and split out the code, right? But you can't split it everywhere, otherwise there will be errors, right? You can split it like, for example, here, but you can't just split it right here. As you can see, it will cause error, right? So you have to split it appropriately, okay? You can test it out yourself as well. And the last thing I want to mention is the naming conventions. Right now, it's not that useful, but for example, if you want to write a big name, right, like for example, popcorn machine, right? So normally in JavaScript, we don't write popcorn machine like this. We will be writing it in either the camel case, okay? Camel case is basically like, so it's popcorn and machine, right? So there are two words. First word letter will be small letter, and the second word first letter will be the large letter, right? As you can see from the formatting as well. And the other one is Pascal case. Okay, Pascal case. As you can see from the name itself, the all the words inside, basically all the, you can say, these two words combined together, the first word will always have the first letter as capital, okay? Machine, Pascal case and camel case. The famous one or the most used one by the developers is the camel case, right? Pascal case is not used that much, but you can use Pascal case. But high recommendation is that you use camel case for all of your naming conventions, right?